allowed to drink water?
Yeah.
No, this is part of healthiness. Drinking water, man. Come on.
We'll put in bloopers.
Right, let me drink my water and then we can get going.
Hello everyone, welcome to the Well of Wellbeing. Today we have Bob Tanda here with us to talk about fitness and how that helps our well-being. Hi Bob, how are you?
Hi Sophie, I'm doing very well, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. So shall we start off with Bob telling us a little bit about yourself?
Sure, yeah. My name is Bob Tanda and I've been in Glasgow just shy of 5 years actually. Originally from Africa, I moved to London and then London to Scotland. Now my journey started almost 8 years ago.
Yeah.
I left the job because I found out that we were kind of robbing people on the side, and morally that just did not sit right with me.
Right.
So I left the job, walked out, and on my way home I said, God, you know what? I want a job that's satisfactory, and also it means that I can help people out.
Yeah.
Now it took me 2 years to find it, but in the end I became a personal trainer, found a course, and by the grace of God, I actually passed the day after my birthday. Can you imagine?
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. So it'll be 8 years in September since I became a personal trainer. Spent 2.5 years in London before I moved up here.
Mm-hmm.
And then probably a year and a half into moving to Glasgow, I opened up my own gym. And I've had that gym for 4 years now. So yeah, it's been a remarkable journey from then to now. And the wonderful thing is that I get job satisfaction, and at the same time I'm helping people with their fitness and well-being.
Yeah. You're in control of your own working schedules and how it's all run.
Yes and no. Because unfortunately, people think, you work for yourself, so you work your own hours. Well, no, because you're working according to your members and your clients' hours.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that's something that we miss out. And for me, because obviously I own the business and I don't have any staff at the moment, so I pretty much do the full opening hours, So our hours right now are 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. So I'm there for 12 hours. And in those 12 hours, obviously try and fit my clients in those times.
That's intense.
Yes, it is. But I mean, don't get me wrong, you do get chunks of time to yourself, So generally between say 1 and 4 p.m. I've got time to do my own stuff, So my schedule is pretty much out of morning clients up to say lunchtime, and then I've got evening clients say from 5 o'clock to 8 o'clock. So then in that gap I get to train, I get to do what I want to do.
That sounds inspiring to people who you feel like they can, go and create their own thing and start their own business and do what they enjoy doing and chase a passion.
Well, I think that's it. And one of the key things is, are you willing to take a risk?
Yeah, that's a big one.
That's the big one. Because you see, for me, it wasn't even the case. I didn't look at it from the case of, I want to make money or I want to build an empire. For me, it was a case where, like I said, I've spoken to the Lord, and for me, it was a case of where I want a job satisfaction and I want to be helping people. Mm. It happened to be in a field where I'd pretty much been all my life.
Yeah.
Fitness has been part of my life, from the age of 10. So it wasn't, I want to say, easy avenue, but I must confess this. The reason how I got into personal training was because when I was living in London at the time, one of my church brothers asked me to train him and his fiancée. So the thought of becoming a personal trainer actually never crossed my mind. So he'd asked me to train him and his fiancée for about 6 weeks. And they saw a massive difference. And I remember one day turned around and said to me, listen, I used to have a personal trainer that I used to pay him £50, and I've never gotten the results that you've given me. Have you ever thought about becoming a personal trainer?
Yeah.
So then he obviously planted a seed in me. And that day I went home, and then that's when I started doing the research, different companies that did the training, so from there, after I became a personal trainer, the day I qualified, I said in my head, I said, Lord, one day I'm going to own my own gym. Now, I did not know what that was going to look like. I didn't know how much it was going to cost. I didn't know where it was going to be, but I had planted the idea in there. And like I said, 4 years after I became a personal trainer, I got my own gym.
Yeah, wow.
And the interesting thing is, again, talking about risk. So when I moved up here, I used to work for a gym. I did really well in the 8 months period that I was there. Some things happened. I got suspended through no fault of my own. I got 2 weeks suspension, and during that time, I started thinking about different things that I wanted to do and so forth. And I realized that as long as I kept working for this company, I was going to be held back. And I had so many ideas how I wanted to do things. And one of the things I always remember is whenever I was training in the gym, I would do stuff, the manager would be like, oh, you can't do that. Oh, you can't do this. So I'm like, man, I want my own place where I can do what I want without somebody, telling me I can't do this, I can't do that.
Yeah.
So then after my suspension, I handed in my notice. Handing in my notice meant that I would have to start afresh.
Yeah.
So my, income dropped to like a fifth, and because I said to myself, you know what, I'm going to go solo, forget working for somebody else. I'm going to do my own thing. So after I left that company, literally 6 months later, I got my own job. The scary part or the risk part was that how am I going to live, how we're going to get by and so forth, where's the money going to come from, how am I going to advertise myself as a personal trainer. And back then, those things I didn't really have a clue of, marketing, but glory be to God, the Lord sustained me for that period. And like I said, 6 months later, we got our own business. It's been a journey and a half, from where the gyms come from to where it is now, the renovation. There are different people that have come through our doors, and it's changed from slightly older people to more younger people, more students, and it's just been great to see the different people that have come through our doors and absolutely loving the facilities that we have for them.
Yeah. While we're on the topic of people coming through the doors, what's the most radical transformation that you've seen in your gym?
The most radical transformation I've seen is from one of my personal clients. When this boy came through the doors, he was a rake. And I remember our first session, I gave him an easy exercise by all means. He could not do it. And I literally had to give him a broomstick to perform the exercise. Bearing in mind, a broomstick is next to nothing, weighs next to nothing. Do you get what I mean? And he really, really struggled, and he couldn't finish the session. Fast forward now, he's become a personal trainer.
Oh, wow.
Yes. So he was with me for a good 2 years. We trained him hard. He was pretty much like a sponge. He took in everything that we gave to him. And he went from a rake to a slightly beefed up young man, and he's an inspiration for me, myself as well, to see that, we've taken this young man, changed his life, and now he's then, changing other people's lives. And I think that's what it's about,
Yeah, there's a huge culture of pay it forward when it comes to health and fitness, and, whatever you've gained from coming under someone's coaching, and you can give it to someone else, and that's quite a satisfying feeling.
100%. And actually, I wanted to make this point. I think sometimes people get confused. You see, gym is not always about building muscles. I think sometimes people get the wrong idea about gyms. People just think, you're going to a gym to build muscles or to lose weight or whatever. No, especially from what I've seen, it's more of a fitness lifestyle. A lot of us go there because it gives us peace of mind. It gives us an escape. Yeah. It helps our mental well-being, it helps our physical well-being as well. At the same time, the buzz you get from it, the community, for them it's like, I'm going to see my people. Even during this lockdown, a lot of them, they miss being around people who are like-minded.
I think there's a very fine line between being you know, finding your place and then spending all your time there, because I've seen both ends of the spectrum myself, and there's lots of people who find something that they're really good at, get into a sort of addictive pattern of behaviour with it.
Yeah.
That's quite hard to break out of, especially because it's seen as a good thing. Actually, it becomes unhealthy.
No, of course, definitely. And I think that's probably down to, I want to say, the person's psyche and makeup, because I think if you generally have got an addictive personality, then irrespective of what you do, do you get what I mean? You might take it to the extreme, depending on what people are doing and wanting. To get, I mean, the length of the training will vary.
But then looking introspectively into yourself, how do you think fitness and exercise and going to the gym helped your own mental health and well-being?
My perspective is different because I've always been into fitness, you know, from a young age. From the age of 10, played football, played rugby, you know, did athletics. I played football professionally from the age of 16 to 20. So fitness has always been part of my life, you know. It's the same as breathing. That's how much I value exercise. It's who I am. It's part of my identity. I'd always ask myself, if I wasn't into fitness, I wonder who I'd be. It's a focus and discipline that I enjoy. It's not a hardship, you know, it's not labor. It helps me to be sharp. It helps me to be focused. It helps me to be alert.
Fitness has given me so much in life, like discipline that nothing else could ever teach me. And it's just like mind over matter. And some of the biggest mental struggles for me has been in the gym. I just look at the bar and I'm like, I'm not lifting it. I can't. And then someone shouts at you, you got this, move your butt, do it. And then you do it and you're like, whoa, I didn't think I could do that. And then
exactly.
you're like, oh, I'm coming back again tomorrow.
Exactly. And that's what you get. You get a sense of achievement. You can then take that experience outside, and, you know, if you're struggling with something, all you have to do is yourself, well, remember that time you were struggling to lift this weight, but you did it in the end. Do you get what I mean? And then you can use that as inspiration to help you whatever you are struggling at that current moment. And saying that, okay, call it a mini revelation. It wasn't interesting how back in the day the prophets always said to the Israelites, remember what your God did for you.
Yeah.
Remember the goodness of the Lord. It's that you draw strength and courage from that. Well, if God did that for me then, He can do it for me now.
Exactly. Yeah.
Do you get what I mean? And that's exactly the same thing. Well, okay, remember your achievement. Remember what you did then. Well, if you can do that, guess what? You can do this. Glory be to God. Thank you, Lord. I take that.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah, it's an attitude of gratitude, I think. Some of your biggest struggles are in your head, I feel like, personally, even. Like when you face this battle, you're just like, oh, I can't. And then you just psych yourself out. And then when you think about it, you're like, it's not that big a deal. I've just made it a big deal.
Yeah.
Stop complaining and start doing.
100%. So
yeah. In writing it down, I found that with the gym especially, and actually in life, like having a book of good things that I've done, like things that I didn't think I could have done that I did. Yeah. You look back and you're like, wow, I didn't think this time 3 years ago I did that. And now I'm like, that's easy peasy.
Fantastic, yeah. I might start that actually.
Yeah. I have this wee journal that has 5 years, so it's like May 25th. And then 2017, 18, 19, 20, 21.
Wow.
And you can see, like, on that day, 5 years, what you've done.
Yeah.
And honestly, it's one of the most interesting things that I've done, because I'm like, wow, like, you forget, because you lose track of time and you're like, I'm amazing.
100%.
Look at me, I've like overcome and I've done that. And when I was writing it 3 years ago, I was like, I don't think I'm going to get out of this. And then 3 years now, I'm like, oh, check me.
100%.
There's a lot to say for fitness being a place of release and stress release and helping people modulate their feelings and what they're going through, because you can just do whatever you want in that time, and it's like a safe space.
Escape, yeah, 100%. And also to add to that, fitness doesn't have to be going to the gym. Listen, nothing's forced on you. So I generally say to people, find what you love to do that will get your heart rate. See if you love jogging, go jogging. See if you love swimming, go swimming. See if you love climbing hills, climb a hill. Find what you love to, because see if you love it, it's not going to be a chore.
Yeah.
And that's what we're trying to create, because when the minute becomes chore, it becomes labor, it becomes hard work.
Yeah.
When you enjoy it, the toughness, you don't even see that. Do you get what I mean? Because you're looking at the benefits of the exact thing you're doing. Gym is definitely not for everybody. And like I said, fitness is not just based in the gym.
Yeah.
As we're finding out in this lockdown that you can be fit at home. Your body is the ultimate equipment, you know. So move it in a way that you enjoy.
Yeah.
And that will definitely make it easier for people to stay fit. Find something you love to do and do it.
Yeah. The same can be said for lots of things.
Yeah, true. I love chocolate, so let me eat chocolate. No.
Everything in moderation. What's your most favourite exercise to do? You could only do one exercise for the rest of your life. What would that be?
Lord have mercy, if I could only do one exercise. You know, it's interesting actually, because we have this conversation a lot in the gym. It's either a squat or a deadlift. So the difference is a squat, the bar is on your back, and the motion of you sit down and then you stand up. Your deadlift is when you're picking up a dead weight off the floor. If there was ever an exercise that I could do, it has to be a deadlift. It's an exercise we do actually a lot, because when you're picking up something off the floor, it's a deadlift because it's a dead weight. Again, you hear it a lot of the time. Oh, you know, when you're picking up something from the floor, make sure your back is in shape. And so we do it all the time.
What's the one that you hate the most doing? When you see it in your program, you're like, oh no, help me. Okay,
it's called a safety bar squat. We use different bars in the gym. A safety bar squat is generally for people who have mobility issues with the shoulders. So it's a piece of bar that's got handles here and it's got a nice cushion at the back. So it helps folks to squat. Now, I hate using this bar to squat in because it just feels like you're being crushed. And that's the whole purpose of it, right? Because in the feeling of being crushed, it then helps you to maintain a straighter back. Yeah. So it fulfills its purpose. Every time I see on my program, I'm like, Coach, what are you doing? Like, why are you giving me this exercise? I hate this exercise. I said to him, you know what? I need to stop saying that because I think the more I say it, the worse it gets. So I've changed my mind, with using the word hate. And I'm just like, don't mind it. It's okay, because I think the more I say I hate it, the more it hurts.
I think it's true. Like there's times when you keep telling yourself, oh, I really don't like doing it, and you hype it up in your mind. But when you do it, it's not that bad.
Yeah.
It's a mental block thing.
Yes, it is, 100%. Before lockdown, I kind of started changing my words towards it. And it was getting easier. It was tolerable. Let me put it that way. It's more tolerable than, yes, it was more tolerable than, I hate it and this is, killing me.
Last question, right? What would you say to someone who is struggling to find motivation to get into their fitness journey or maintain it?
They have to find the why. Your why has to outweigh the momentary pain, because it's the why that pulls you through. Why am I exercising? What's the benefit of it? If you can see the benefits of why you're doing it, the struggle is nothing, because the goal, the why, is greater than the struggle. So I think whenever we are struggling for motivation, we should always remind ourselves of, one, the reason why we got into it, the reason why we're doing it. The idea of making a short-term, middle, and a long-term goal is probably another thing. I think a lot of folks, what they tend to do is they reach too far into the future, and then they're trying to condense that in like a month. And that's why we'll probably see a lot of people trail off after February, because they've got this unrealistic goal that they're trying to match in 1 month. When they don't, they drop off. You could actually get a partner to have an accountability. Even if they don't come to the gym with you, somebody that you can just message and say, listen, I was supposed to go to the gym today, but I'm feeling, and maybe that person will be like, look, listen, you gotta go.
That's really important. I think even generally, that's a really good piece of life advice. If you're struggling with anything, to struggle alongside someone and not to be alone in the struggle. Yeah. It's so easy 100%. To give up and sit on your couch and be like, right, not today. Tomorrow. And then
you get lost
next week. Yeah.
And like I said, you forget why. The why is so important, and I think that has to be the driving force. And like you said, for anything in life, why do you do what you do? The idea that once I became a personal trainer, I had planted a seed in my head that one day I'm going to own a gym. Now, I may never thought about it all the time, but when I confessed it, there was such conviction that my spirit took it and ran with it. And it, like I said, his was the goal, and even if I went different direction, I was still being pulled towards that goal. Life is an interesting journey, I'll tell you that. I'll write a book about it one day.
Yeah, please do. I would definitely read it.
Hey folks, just a quick follow-up. This is my recommendation of exercises that you can do while you're on lockdown, exercise that you can potentially start if you haven't been doing them already. Yeah, so the first one for me, I'm going to turn to the side so you can see what my body looks like. We're going to squat. Yeah, so from here I'm going to push my hips back and just try and drop as low as I can. As you can see, my heels are nice and flat on the floor and up. Yeah, so that's our first exercise. What I'll probably say, if you can do between 12 to 15 reps, that'll be a good place for you to start. If you're struggling with it, what you can do is you can hold on to something just to give you some support while you're squatting. Yeah, so this is just giving me a little support while I'm going down. If that's still too difficult, what you can do is get a chair, sit down and stand up. So that's a nice place for you to start to help build your muscles. Once you've done that, you've mastered that, you can then try to move on to this one. Second exercise is push-ups. So we can start one on our knees. Yeah, so from here, I straighten my body. From my knees to my shoulders, my upper body is nice and straight. So you don't want to be here, you want to be here. And you lower yourself as close to the floor as you can. And then back up. Down and up. If you can do that, then get your knees off the floor and do a full push-up. Okay? So again, if that's still too difficult, what you can do is, I use my little girl's chest of drawers. So I can start from here, lower myself, press. Yeah, it's a good place to start. So that's second exercise. Third exercise is lunges. We pretty much do this all the time without knowing it. So I'm just going to step with my left foot forward and then drop down to the floor, stand up and back. Step forward, drop down and back. Okay. Once you get confident with it, you can just go straight in and back, changing foot. Yeah, good. Next exercise, say 3 to 5 minutes on your watch, on your phone, and I'm sure most of us can probably have access to stairs. So 3 to 5 minutes on your watch, literally just go up and down the stairs for that time. Yeah. Again, that'll be a nice way to really raise your heart rate up and to get you start moving. Yeah. Next exercise I would definitely recommend is, guys, the weather's fantastic. Go for a walk. Go for a walk around the block. Go to your nearest park and walk around it. And my last exercise, I would say, if you've never tried it, try going for a run. It doesn't have to be long. You know, a mile, a kilometer, just start somewhere. Yeah, that's the idea, is can we start somewhere? For me, from the start of lockdown, I decided, let me start running. It's not part of what I do, but I'm adapting. So try going for a run or something. Yeah, like I said, I'm not asking you to go and kill yourself, but just start where you can. A kilometer here, a kilometer there. Yeah, and hopefully that will help with your heart, your cardiovascular system. Okay guys, so those are the few exercises that I would recommend for you guys to do. If you want any more, then you can get in touch. Bob.
That's so good. Thanks so much, Bob. And if anyone has any questions for Bob, you can leave them in the comments below, or you can just tell us how you're getting along with your fitness journey and what works for you, what doesn't work, and I'm sure everyone else can see that and take some tips back home. So thank you very much for watching today, and be sure to subscribe and stay in touch. Thank you. Bye.